Maker. I'm here with Top Rope TV. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is King Hiena, and I'm one of the Rope to Rope Entertainment wrestlers.
Awesome, man. How long you've been wrestling for?
On and off for 3 years to 4 years now.
Do you have any inspirations that made you want to become a pro wrestler?
Yeah, one of my inspirations was, even though I'm a male, she's a female, Lita, because she was, despite being how small she was on TV, she definitely had a impact on not my style personally, but how I kind of would like to move forward and wrestle like later on, you know.
Okay. Now, where'd you train at to be a wrestler?
It actually, well, it's definitely a story and a half to say the least. Started out at Chikara, then I went to, was off that for a good while. Then went to BWF, trained with El Gato Sombrio, one of my best friends in the business. Then I went to DJ Hyde School out in New Jersey there, over in CZW. And then I went to ECBW for a while, starting to go back again actually. And then went to what was formerly known as WSW, now SPW.
All right. Now, do you have any highlights of your career so far?
One of my best highlights so far would have to be wrestling with one of my trainers, Tigre Vulcan.
Okay. What was that like?
Who you actually, did an interview with just recently, right? It was definitely something great to be sharing the ring with him during the match and even post-match. But it was definitely great, and I would like to work with him again.
Okay. Now, what were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? I know you said Lita before, but
Yeah.
do you have anybody else that you model your style off of?
Just recently, actually, because I took a break from watching wrestling because Attitude Era. And can't watch certain things because of the stuff that they were doing back then. But getting back into it, I would say the era of Cena. I have to say one of the wrestlers I've been watching just recently on AEW is Luchasaurus, because he's tall like I am, but has me by a couple of inches. Watched Lucha Underground when I was on Netflix. One of my favorite wrestlers from that was Phoenix, now Rey Fenix, Pentagon Jr., a.k.a. El Penta Zero Miedo on AEW, Kalisto on WWE. What's his name? Gran Metalik, also in WWE, formerly El Gran Dorado, or whatever his name was in CMLL. And some of the CMLL guys like Místico, Caristico, Dragon Lee, Gran El. His name is escaping me right now, but I'm pretty sure I remember his name later on. Puma and Tiger Casas from CMLL as well.
Okay. Now, how did the COVID-19 pandemic affect wrestling for you?
It kind of affected wrestling for me a little bit because, don't get me wrong, I love the ring. I miss being around people, but in the times that we're in right now, definitely kind of calls for certain protocols to be met. And to say the least, I don't mind the protocols being followed because that's what has to be done anyway, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I definitely miss the ring, to say the least.
What was like your first match back after being shut down from COVID for all that time?
My first match back would have to be the match of me, Tigre, versus Dyson Bennett and Luca Mancini,
Okay.
which I know me and him still probably have some business to take care of.
Okay. All right. Now, what kind of stuff do you do to train to stay in shape for the ring?
The things I do, I practice kickboxing, which I'll be going and doing tomorrow.
Okay.
The gym, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone knows that. some light cardio here and there, and then various other martial arts to throw into my style and mix it up.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have any shows coming up at all that you want to talk about?
I don't have any shows to say the least yet, but I'm going to be at the show on December 5th.
Okay.
So I'm focused on training and keeping myself ready for that.
Okay. Now, who's your favorite opponent that you've wrestled?
If Battle Royal counts, I would have to say my favorite opponent would have to be Jason, because that guy, man, he is tall. Not only is he tall, man, he can choke slam you like almost like he was dropping any other victim from any height, you know.
Okay. Now I know, like you have with your luchador style and all, like you probably have to have heard of the Great Mysterio. Now,
Of course.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about like the whole thing with Rey Mysterio and Dominic? We're in the feud with Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy.
I definitely think that could have gone a little bit differently and a little bit better in my opinion, but this is what it is. But I definitely think that Dominic has a good future in the WWE, to say the least.
Okay.
I would love to see him go underneath his father's mask or carry it on as tradition in Mexico.
Okay. Now, what about the Mexican culture and the luchador style attracts you to it?
The thing that attracts me the most to it is that not only just high flying, it's also depending on who is in the ring. They're either high flying, they mix it up with grappling or ground pound. Like the lucha style isn't just high flying like everyone thinks. Depending on who's underneath the max, they do any sort of array of styles.
Okay.
Like for example, Luchasaurus. He's big. Like he's big. Does he take to the sky often? Yeah. Only when warrants it. Well, I like to take to the sky? Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Now, what do you think of the match with Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar?
Oh man, that's definitely the street fight was definitely great, and I liked how they incorporate Dominic in on the double 619 and the double frog splash.
Okay.
That was very well done. But I think the finish could have been done differently. That's just me though.
Yeah.
But
Now, like you watched wrestling growing up and all.
Yeah.
What's your favorite era or time period in pro wrestling?
Attitude Era. But also before that, over in Japan was when Hayabusa was big. Before, like pre-Hayabusa, before he did the pile driver that ended his career.
Okay.
Before that he was amazing in the ring. I love his style.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to say or add or anything to get off your chest?
I'm pretty sure you see almost all the banter that me and Luca and El Rey have back and forth on online.
Okay. Yeah.
Me and them, I know we have unfinished business, you two and I. But trust me, when it comes down to it, fellas, it ain't personal. It's just business. And I guarantee you, your little business, it's going to be put out of business.
Awesome, man. Thanks for doing this interview.
No.
This is Alan Fenstermaker on Top Rope TV, signing off. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, this is Alan Fenstermaker here. I'm here with Gene Snitsky. How you doing today, Gene?
Fantastic. Just got done beating some butts here at SWF in Hazard, New Jersey. I think we're in Hazard, right?
Yeah, Hazard,
Yeah,
New
that's
Jersey.
right.
Yep.
We're in Hazard, New Jersey.
Yep.
It's not my fault if you don't know that, but now you do.
Yeah, but what was your favorite match that you've been in your career as a wrestler?
The obvious answer is probably the one against Kane at Taboo Tuesday. It was my debut pay-per-view, which also happened to be on my mom's birthday, so that was kind of special. Loved working with Glenn. Always a pleasure. He was one of the easiest guys to work with, and just always enjoyed, being in the ring with a legend like Kane, so probably that would be probably the highlight.
All right, now can you tell the fans, like, who gave you inspiration to be a pro wrestler?
As a 10-year-old watching WWE in Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, I always just enjoyed watching Hogan. Hogan was like the larger-than-life character with the big persona and the amazing promos. And you're flipping through the channels as a 10-year-old and you're like, man, that's cool. I want to do that someday.
Now, how'd you train to become a pro wrestler?
I attended the Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Camp in Allentown, Pennsylvania, run by the WWE Hall of Famer Afa Hawaii, which is now currently located in Florida, and his son, Samu, who helped break me into business, runs the camp in Allentown, and it's WSWC4.
Okay, now what are some of the highlights of your career besides being in WWE? And like, what are some of the highlights of your career leading up to that?
Just recently got inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Was first team All-State in football in high school. Did a full scholarship to the University of Missouri. Played a little bit of pro football before I got into WWE. So that's probably the highlight of my athletic career.
Okay. Now, do you have any other shows coming up, or?
Just appearances, autograph signing, stuff like that. Unfortunately, with the pandemic going on, there's a lot of promoters that have canceled till 2021. So I lost out on a lot of bookings due to that. But 2021's right around the corner, so keep your eyes peeled for Snitsky. But in the meantime, check out my horror film, 100 Acres of Hell. We won the Best Feature Film Award at the Philadelphia Film Festival. And very proud of how that came out. You can check that out on all the streaming platforms. You can also follow me on Instagram, The Real Snitsky, and Twitter at Big Gene Snitsky. And keep up with all the activities that I got going on. You can also check out my shop, Priority One Surplus. It's in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. If you guys are ever in the area, stop by, say hello. PriorityOneSurplus.com. And keep your eyes peeled because you never know where I'm going to show up. And if you miss me, it's not my fault.
Awesome, man. Thank you for doing the interview, man.
No worries, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Man. Cool.
All right, buddy.
Cool, man.